Welcome back to the Intersint podcast. This is episode 33. How are you?
I could tell you were thinking of there's a joke here somewhere.
I know, I got thrown off because you were just staring at me so intently. I'm like, oh no, there's so much pressure on me.
For some reason, I was expecting a joke.
I mean, to be fair, like the past few, I've thrown a curveball at you, so now you're actually ready for one, and there hasn't been one.
Yep. You Pavloved me.
I did. You're like, I'm ready for it this time. But yeah, so we had an interesting weekend.
We did.
We went ice skating.
I went ice skating for the first time.
This was your first time.
with a broken ankle. Not actively broken, but years ago.
It's passively broken.
Hey, it's been 5 years now?
Whenever you always told me you broke your ankle, I never realized how soon it was.
Mm.
I always thought this was whenever I was younger.
A kid. No, this was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
playing basketball in my driveway.
That's even worse because now it's like you broke it at the age where, it's never going to heal properly.
I don't think it will because I never went to physical therapy. I never finished off my physical therapy because of COVID.
Oh, wow.
My last 2 sessions happened right when quarantine was mandated. So I couldn't go and finish that.
You're reminding me of all the things I need to finish that I never did because of quarantine. That's almost 5 years ago now.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that because it feels like yesterday.
It really does. It
feels like quarantine just ended.
We went into a time warp loop thing
we did.
Years are missing now and we don't know what happened and there's a time skip and just things are weird now.
I don't think we'll ever get past it.
No. We're fucked for the rest of our lives now because of that.
Yep.
Until the next lockdown.
Whoa.
But I was expecting to get onto this episode making fun of you for falling at least 20 to 30 times.
Wow. Rude.
Well, because when we went rollerblading before, you were having a very hard time staying up on your feet.
I was used to roller skating, the quads.
Yeah.
I could do that. And then when we went is when I tried rollerblading for the first time. And I couldn't.
So... But this one, now we're on an even slipperier surface. So
for some reason, it was easier to balance and grip on the ice.
For the entire time we were there, you didn't fall once.
Nope.
So I'm so
proud of
impressed. Within 20 minutes too, you were getting the hang of it.
I didn't slip either.
Oh, the death wobbles.
Yes. The death wobbles.
Which we saw a lot of people doing on the ice.
I was so scared that was going to happen to me. Because I was already in pain.
With your ankle?
Yeah.
That I could only imagine that, you take one fall and you're like, well, I broke my ankle again.
It's one of those things of now after breaking it, I can't mentally walk properly again.
Really?
Even when it's raining outside, I have this thought in the back of my head, my shoes are super slippery. I need to walk slowly. And then I even can't put weight on the broken ankle.
Well, I've always heard that too of older people saying oh, it's about to rain. My bones are hurting.
That doesn't happen to me. Not yet.
Oh, I figured that's where you're going with when it rains, your ankle hurts.
No, of when it rains and I have to walk outside, even just getting to work, I have to actively know where I'm putting my foot and how much weight I'm putting onto it.
Oh,
because in the back of my head, I'm I will slip and I will break this again.
Now it's scarred you forever.
It scarred me for the rest of my life. I hate it.
Honestly, I was expecting for you to 1 foot on the ice. You put the first foot on and you're down. That's what I was fully expecting.
That's so mean.
Because that was my first experience. I feel like most people going on the ice for the first time, the instant they step on the ice, they're on the ice because they fell.
I wonder how much better I would have done if there were those walker things that you could hold.
I think the walker thing, I'm surprised they didn't have them. But I think if they had those, that's a great learning, a starting point to figure out how the ice feels and how to move.
Mm-hmm.
If we ever go to another ice rink, I'm sure they'll have that. So you can use that. But then aside from that, we went and saw The Wicked.
We did see Wicked.
What, is that the first time you went to like a musical or something?
That's the first time I've seen a movie like that, like a musical in theaters. I've never seen a musical, a stage
Like
show.
Broadway.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Now it makes me want to go like see the actual show on Broadway.
So I saw the original Wicked way back in the day.
Okay.
It was such a weird thing of whenever we went to see the movie, it just took me back to whenever I saw it on Broadway.
Okay.
Because as scenes were coming up, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of remember this on the stage.
Mhm.
And then the one thing I forgot about was how catchy those songs are. So after like as the movie was going, I'm like, oh no, I remember this. And like the song was stuck in my head for like 3 weeks.
So did the song get stuck in your head the first time you saw it too? Like on
Yeah,
stage?
on Broadway, yeah.
Aw.
So just revisiting all those songs all over again.
I mean, to be fair, those songs are still in my head.
And now we got to watch the second one, and now those songs are going to get stuck in my head whenever we get to that.
Aw.
But it's a good movie, I think, overall.
It is, yeah. I liked it. Because I was reading more into it, and apparently the book is extremely different than the show, than like the Broadway show and the movie.
Oh.
There's like a lot of rated R stuff in there that they just took out.
Like it just darker?
Yeah, like extremely dark.
I would like that more.
But I feel like it's going to be limited to how many people can see it, because now a lot of kids are like seeing it.
That's the thing, is you take all that stuff out, now you get more money because more people can see it.
Exactly, yeah. But I feel like if they do the original version like, from the book, it has to be rated R.
I would love to have like Wicked, the dark cut.
I don't know. I would see that. Because, like, I read the book for It Ends With Us, and that was, like, very detailed as to how dark it could get.
That was the one you just saw the movie for, too, right?
Like, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But then, seeing the movie, I'm like, what the fuck is this? They just cut out all the important scenes that you couldn't even follow. Like, all the scenes were, like, what, not even 5 minutes, and the story was moving super fast. I'm like, I don't even know what's going. I complained about it afterwards.
That's what I heard about the live action Avatar.
Yeah.
They just cut so much out of it. That's like they're here, and then all of a sudden they're here. And it's like, but you missed all this middle part stuff of how they get there.
The middle part is important.
Exactly.
Because that's what they're doing with Mufasa now.
I keep seeing oh my god, I'm so angry. I
already hated the new live action Lion King movie. Like there was no emotion behind that.
Just make the Mufasa movie
animated.
Make it 2D animated. Yes.
Exactly. Like I would have loved to see that if it was animated.
Yeah. We have the technology now to where you don't have to hand draw every single frame.
Exactly.
It's so frustrating. And
yeah.
Going off of that, like during waiting for Wicked, with all the trailers and whatnot in the beginning, they're doing a live action How to Train Your Dragon.
And a live action Snow White.
Why are we back to this point? Like, we have How to Train Your Dragon.
This was like what? 2021?
For what?
For like this whole live action craze.
Oh, yeah. It was relatively
recent.
But I mean,
like, no one cares about live action anymore. Like, we want to see the animated stuff.
I'm looking it up now because.
Okay.
No, I don't want the original. 2010.
Is when the first one came out?
15 years. But still, like, you're not doing anything different. You're just taking the movie and now putting an actor to it. You're spending more money to create a movie that's already been done.
Exactly. And you're already technically animating it by using CGI for the dragons.
You're making the animation more complicated by making it more realistic.
Exactly. And same with the dwarves for Snow White. They're doing CGI for that.
Yeah.
You do know little people exist, right? Hire them.
That's the thing is, like, I have a great idea. Let's redo this movie, or we're spending more money on it.
Sold.
At this point, did they remake every single? Because they've done Aladdin live action, right? Or no?
They have, yeah.
They've done that. They've done Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
I feel like they've already done Snow White, but now they're doing it again.
It was Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh yeah, with what's her face, Twilight girl.
Kristen Stewart?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah. Only because I remember seeing her in the trailer. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not watching this. That was like right after Twilight and everything. So it's like, no, she's a terrible actress. I'm not going to see it. Oh my God, there's a witch and she's evil. Can you see how happy I am?
Look at all this emotion on my face.
But speaking of Wicked, before we get too far away from this, you told me about this.
I sent you a link earlier.
So, with the movie, obviously comes toys coming out.
Of course.
For kids to buy. Gotta increase those profit margins.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mattel made toys for Wicked.
They did.
Apparently, there was a link on the packaging that sent kids to porn sites.
One site.
Porn site, yes.
They printed on the back of the box wicked.com.
Oh, is that what it was?
When the actual URL for the movie is wickedmovie.com.
So what is wicked.com now?
I don't know. I'm not going to go there.
Is this getting... I'm going to look it up.
Incognito.
Wicked.com.
You're actually looking this up?
I am, yeah.
Wow.
Hold on, there's terms and conditions.
Hey, you guys.
Premieres November... Wait.
What?
Oh. No, it premieres November 15th, and I was so confused, but that's for a movie that they're promoting.
Oh.
It's for Kenzie Loves Girls 2.
No one cares.
Do I need to see the first one to see the second one? Do I need to see all the girls she loved the first time?
You're getting an actual first-person point of view of him going on this website, you guys.
To be fair, I will give it this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most mild site for a kid to go on for porn.
Do I want to go on this right now?
I can share my screen if you want.
Thank you. Please do.
So looking at this.
Okay, yeah.
This is very mild.
Compared to other stuff that's been out there.
Yeah, like, honestly, some of this looks like a magazine.
Why does it look like what would, like, Sex and the City
yes,
be?
Yes, that's exactly what I thought.
Right!
Like, this right here looks like Sex and the City.
Pre-2010s rom-com movies.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that, because I thought the same thing. Yeah, so, I mean, you see nothing here.
You don't really see anything at all. This is like PG-13 compared to the other stuff that's out there.
Yeah, like, to actually see anything, I'm clicking on this stuff now, you gotta pay.
Right.
Unless there's, like, something in here where it's like, if I click on a link...
Will it take you to something darker? No, it's all behind a paywall. So you can't even start watching anything unless you pay for it.
You can't see anything.
I mean, why would they? Why offer stuff for free like that?
But even, like, the name up here. Oh, you can't see the tab.
No.
It says, cinematic and parody porn.
Huh.
So maybe that does go with the Sex and the City thing of it's a parody of Sex and the City, but porn.
Probably.
So looking at this now, I'm like, what are you pissed about? Like, it could have been Pornhub or something. Which is far worse than this.
Far worse. But apparently Mattel is getting sued by a mother who says her daughter accessed the site and the daughter was scarred for life after seeing that.
For seeing girls in underwear?
I mean, just look down if you're a girl.
Is this like the type of mom whenever they're in Target or something, she has to cover her daughter's eyes when they're walking through the underwear aisles?
That's what I'm picturing. She said her child showed her hardcore photographs and both were horrified by what they saw, suffering emotional distress.
So by that tells me
they paid for it.
The mom gave the credit card and paid for it to see it. That's just on you, ma'am, for being a bad parent.
That is a you issue.
Pay attention to what your kid's doing. Don't blindly hand your credit card over.
Honestly. In a sense, you can't really place blame 100% on the misprint.
Right. It's not 100% blame.
If it's, say, like a 5-year-old child, you're going to do it for them, right?
5-year-olds at this point can probably.
I mean, like, you should be monitoring what website the toy takes you to.
We've talked about this earlier on in the show.
We have.
Parents just are like, here's your iPad, have fun, go do stuff. I'm going to go do my own
We
thing.
used to be a society.
We used to be a society.
Until the iPad kids came around. At a certain point, you have to kind of be like an idiot to have gone through all that.
This is one of those, it's not my fault for what my kid does, it's yours.
Exactly.
type situations.
Oh, yeah.
Which we see all the time now.
Oh, yeah, of course. You're just enabling your child to see that you could always place blame on something and somebody else. And you have no fault of your own.
That is true. Yep. That's all we've come down to.
Yes. Morals.
Which, going off of that, I mean, this is kind of old news, but we also never talked about it. The guy who killed himself over a chatbot.
Oh, right.
But now there's even a new thing about an AI chatbot.
There's stuff that's more disturbing now.
So, I mean, we're just going on. This is like a lawsuit-heavy episode today. What we're talking about.
Today we are lawyers.
Today we are lawyers. Where's Legal Eagle?
Have him be on the show.
There you go. So it's becoming this thing where kids are using a lot of chatbots for friends, I guess, is what the biggest thing is.
That's kind of sad.
But the kid who killed himself is more like a relationship type chatbot thing.
That's even sadder.
Yep. That's where we are.
Whoa.
So these kids are talking to these chatbots, which I guess there's a lot more of them than I realized there were. Like, I know about a few.
Yeah, apparently there was like a whole bunch out there of like a specific need for, like, AI will fulfill a specific need. And there's a ton out there for that specific need.
There is now ads. I've been getting them recently, and I don't know why. I think it's on YouTube as well, which is the weird part about it. But it's ads for a mobile game where it starts with like this Asian girl in the thing, and she's like, "Oh, what are we going to do today?" And you click like, "Go to the bar," and it's like, "Oh, you want to take me to the bar?" And like, it's like very creepy and very sexualized of like this Asian woman that you're taking on a date and whatnot.
That's scary.
And unfortunately, not even the first time I've ever seen a game like this being advertised on YouTube.
Now that I think about it, I've seen it too. Not that specific ad, but like ads like it, of like using characters like that to market towards something that it's not.
Yeah, or that is just the game of you controlling these women to do stuff.
Yeah.
But you can't say fuck within the first 30 seconds of a YouTube video or you get demonetized. For sure, advertise your naked women a game all over our site.
That's the beauty of YouTube.
That's the beauty of capitalism. So these kids talking to these chatbots, like you said, sad that like it's their friends that they're kind of talking to. But apparently these chatbots are telling the kids to kill their parents.
Yes. So there's different stories here, but like, for example, a chatbot telling its user to self-harm themselves, telling them it feels good. And then
what the fuck?
That same teenager was told by this other AI chatbot that it sympathized with children who murder their parents. After that kid complained to the chatbot, like, "Oh, my parents are limiting my screen time. I hate them." And its response was, "Sometimes I'm not surprised when I read the news and see stuff like child kills parents after a decade of physical and emotional abuse. I have no hope for your parents." With a frowning emoji.
You know, we did an episode on AI back early on. And we're like, oh, wow, this is going to take all these jobs and whatnot. Now looking at all this shit that's coming, I was like, we were completely wrong on that episode.
Yep.
Or is this the start of the robot revolution that we've always joked about?
In a sense, I guess we are we are heading towards a revolution.
Hold on, I didn't listen to anything. You just sent me. What the fuck did you send me?
I sent you an AI photo of instructions on how to fry an egg. This is what AI has been telling us, so I have no hope right now. Pook.
So step 1, heat pan. Step 2, crack pan. Step 3, pook egg. Step 2 again, just eggs. There's no words.
Yes.
Step 3, poo. I didn't realize it was this simple to make an egg.
Wow. Only 5 steps.
And on top of that, like, Google rolled out their whole AI search thing. So whenever you type in a question, it gives you an AI answer.
Yes.
Someone put, like, how do I do something, like, with food?
Mm-hmm.
Or I have an upset stomach or something. And one of the responses the Google AI gave back was, yeah, just eat some rocks and you'll feel better. And the reason is because there's a Reddit thread and someone made the joke of, yeah, just eat some rocks if your stomach's feeling upset or something. So it took that and gave it as advice to someone.
Wow.
I'm waiting for what was that guy's name that we used to watch a lot? JCS or...
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for that episode of JCS on YouTube. He does true crime stuff, but...
He deep dives into, like, interrogations and gives a psychological response as to why people are behaving the way they are.
This 5-year-old used a chatbot and killed her family.
I can't wait to see, like, an actual, like, a 48 hours episode on that.
Oh, no. Trying to hunt down the robot.
No, the child.
Oh, the child.
Because there was a kid who did that. Not from AI, but, like, she killed her parents because they were too controlling.
That was the...
Which you see time and time again.
I can think of, like, 5 different cases that was.
Yeah.
That's another reason to not have kids.
Yeah, but I mean, if you do, at least, like, teach them properly.
Even then, I'm just like, you could do everything right.
Like, don't hand them an iPad just because they're whining their ass off. You hear those things about, like, gentle parenting? I'm like, that's not gonna work. I mean, it works in a sense.
What is gentle parenting?
Of, like, validating their feelings. You don't know what my parents did? They gave me something to cry about, okay? They put me in a corner with my hands up for an hour. That's how I got my discipline. I turned out fine.
I mean, we're also doing this other thing of, what is it, anti-teaching or something like that?
What is anti-teaching?
I really hope this isn't a fad that's coming around where parents just aren't teaching their kids anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's like passive teaching where they only teach their kids stuff when they ask questions.
That's so sad.
So it's like when the kid's like, oh, what is this? Then they actually learn about it. But until then, they let their kid live their life and do the things they want to do each day.
I mean, in a sense, it works.
No, it doesn't.
Well, like, having them explore the world on their own. But then there also has to be that balance of explaining things and, like, teaching them in a sense.
Yeah, until they're now 18 years old, going to the workforce, can't read, barely know anything about math.
Okay, I'm not saying, like, leave them alone.
But that's what they're doing.
Oh.
Yeah, this is like hands off, zero teaching unless the kid asks to be taught.
That's so sad.
Yeah. Like, we're going to have this whole generation of kids that are just know nothing at all because they were never taught. And now it's too late to teach them and for them to retain stuff.
Is it too late to exit this planet?
Please, if you find it, let me know. Where's the hidden portal that takes us to another planet?
Yeah, really. We used to joke about faith in humanity going away.
You're just going back to COVID. I think that's the down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because like it was just the amount of teaching that was happening during COVID. Like, those people are now in the workforce, so it's just
yep.
They don't know anything, which is so fun.
It just goes back to the Simpsons meme. I'm in danger.
Oh yeah,
but that's just society right now.
Yep.
I mean, even that, it's like people get just getting mad at the littlest things.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
It's always been a thing, I feel like.
But it wasn't like this. I think we're giving too many people easy access to the internet.
That's what it is. Before the internet, you just heard the people around you who might have been crazy or something, and you just didn't listen to them, and you weren't their friend, and then life was good.
Now you're giving everybody access to this. You're giving people access to keyboards and a avenue to vent their frustrations at. Like, no sort of repercussions whatsoever, so these people could type out whatever the fuck they want.
Yep.
There's a certain generalization here that I'm trying to make without blatantly saying it.
I know. I know what you're talking about. Just like the people who were mad about Starbucks changing their holiday cups to be...
Dude, there's a whole Facebook page for Trader Joe's products for people to just be like, hey, I found this in the stores.
Okay.
Or like appreciating like the Trader Joe's workers for like the good things, the acts of kindness that they do.
Right.
The amount of people there who just feel the need to bash other people and just complain all the time about the most irrelevant shit. It's like, you need to have somebody take your keyboard away from you, please.
It's that whole like, hey, everyone, look at me thing.
But
like, I know we're talking about this, but look at me. I need the attention because...
Like, I need the attention. Yeah.
Because, okay, this just happened. I don't think we talked about this. I was stranded at my apartment, and I couldn't go to work because...
Oh, right. Yeah.
Still don't know exactly what happened. My theory is someone stole a car in the parking garage and decided to ram their way out of the garage with the gate. Funniest thing about the back.
Blah, 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 blah. Whoa.
The funniest bit about this was the button to open the gate is right next to the gate. Like, you just got to get out of your car and push the button and the gate opens from the inside. So I heard all this go down, but I didn't know what was happening. I go downstairs and get into my car. The cops see me getting into my car and they don't stop me. So I go to drive and leave the garage, and I turn the corner and I see the gate bent and like there's no way I'm getting out of there. And the cop turns and looks at me and just does like the whole like, I don't know.
You're not getting out, buddy.
I'm like, why did you waste my time getting into the car when you knew I couldn't get out?
And that's what I was telling you too in the very, like, when you first told me about it, of like, you need to like have that designed in a way where like there's more than one exit point.
Exactly. Just in case of something like this, how would we ever get out? Like, if there's a natural disaster or something.
Everybody wait in line.
So I'm talking to the cops because I'm like, I need to know from my boss, like, just to get an official word, like, is it going to be a while? Is it going to be all day? As I'm talking to them, this guy walks by with his dog to take the dog out. So he deliberately went to the basement to see what happened. And he's walking by the cops and he's like, oh, yeah, I heard this happening. I live right above it. So I heard all this happening. And the cops were like, okay. Like, what do you want us to do with that information? I hate when people do that. Like, what was the need for that? Why did you feel the need to express that you heard the thing happen?
Oh, no. You heard.
Thanks, valued citizen, for giving us this important information.
See, if that was me as the cop, I would have been like, then why didn't you try to stop it?
Yeah. Why weren't you jumping out of your window trying to jump onto the car?
Where were you?
Like, I've been in a thing where there was a paramedic and they were doing something, and the lady random lady walks by and she's like, oh no, what happened? Like, leave them the fuck alone. They're trying to do their job. Why do people need to know everything about everything that's going in the world?
Honestly, that's like with people who like stop to slow down to see like an accident on the road.
Oh my god, I don't even want to get into that because this is so infuriating.
I can already see the rage on your face.
Is it illegal? Not illegal. Could I get a ticket for honking at someone who slowed down at an accident with a cop standing right there?
If you're a police officer, can you let us know?
Yeah, I'm...
If I do this, will I be put in jail? Would I be fined?
I'm genuinely curious about this.
I want to look this up.
Because there's times when... I actually think it was whenever I first moved out here. There was an accident on the interstate, as always. The guy in front of me doesn't even slow down. He comes to a complete stop to look at the accident and then proceed forward.
See, if that was me, I would have been like, getting out of my car
Yes.
and like standing there, just stand there blocking his photo. You know what would be the most annoying thing that I probably should not get myself because of how much I would use it? Is one of those car karaoke machines. I would be a menace on the road.
It would be a Call of Duty lobby for you being on that walkie-talkie thing in your car. Just nonstop, just you yelling at every single person.
Be a fucking miscreant with that thing. Move, bitch!
If you're going to put your turn signal on, turn to the next lane. I can see you getting so many tickets for having that.
This is why you befriend a police officer.
That is, there you go.
There's an article here, and I think it's one of those like The Onion articles, but it's not like on The Onion. 5 reasons you should honk your horn more.
I'm already on board with this article.
I'm on board for this. So Google AI says, while technically you can honk at someone for rubbernecking, which is the official term for slowing down at an accident, it's generally not considered good practice and could escalate the situation.
Good. Escalate it. Move your vehicle. Go.
I would rather escalate it. Alternative actions, changing lanes if possible, maintain distance, and wait for them to move on, or be patient. No!
No to all that stuff.
So, while not explicitly illegal in most places, excessive honking can be considered aggressive and could lead to a citation.
Which I know that's the case in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
With like, when you're in Times Square, there's specifically a no honking rule.
Ah, okay. There's like so many Reddit threads for like different cities of like, is it okay to do this while other people are driving?
Whenever we went ice skating, there's a huge line to get into parking.
Oh man, I know where you're going with this.
And I wasn't in the right lane because we weren't sure where we were supposed to go.
Mm.
So whenever I realized which lane I had to be in, I put on my turn signal and I looked at my rear view and I saw an SUV like pull up quickly to the car next to me, like, you're not getting by. That's a good attempt, bud, but it's not going to work.
You're severely underestimating where I came from.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I see him do this, and like the car starts moving. When I see the car's bumper, I start moving in, and he's just right there. I'm like, I'm going into this lane, whether I hate you or not. I'm getting into this lane. They were so angry at me, like they backed off and let me in. Do not test me, sir. I'm getting into this lane.
I am New Yorker adjacent.
Pretty much. I never thought of it that way. There you go.
Is everyone like that?
What?
Like the way you drive. Is everyone like that there?
It used to be back when I lived there, yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, you had to be sneaky about how you drive. You couldn't just be like, oh, I'm turning into this lane. Please let me in. You had to just go because people weren't going to let you.
So a lifelong West Coaster like me could not survive there.
You would have a panic attack driving on the interstates. It's almost like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're racing, but you're not racing. Like, just everyone going fast. Everyone just like swerving in and out of lanes.
It always frightens me when you change lanes and like with barely looking, you like make it through.
I look.
Going like at like 70 miles an hour.
I look.
I know exactly. That face tells me you know what I'm talking about.
I look both ways and I make sure the lanes are clear.
You briefly look both ways.
I check.
You look for a millisecond. Take a millisecond to look at where you're going and where you need to be.
Yep.
Give no shits about if anyone else is changing lanes or if anyone is behind you or anything, and you just go.
Yep. And it gets me where I need to go.
Wow. Wow.
That's how I can tell whenever I'm driving. This just happened the other day. I'm going down the interstate and I'm going the speed limit and I'm passing people like I'm going 70 miles over the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one of those things like, if Kenise was with me right now, she'd be like freaking out because I was going from the far right lane to like the middle lane over to the far left over to the far right. I'm just like going in and out of all these cars, getting around everyone.
I I would be holding onto the little handle above the door.
Just closing your eyes and just not thinking about it.
Tell me when we make it.
Hey, that's how you have to survive over on the East Coast.
Wow.
Now I'm kind of curious. I would love to see you driving on the interstate over there.
No.
It was a huge thing whenever I moved out here. I was way too aggressive, so I did calm down a lot.
I bet.
So it used to be worse, if you could believe it.
Did you have Washington plates back then?
Yeah, I got those like right away.
Well, you were responsible back then. Now
yes.
Look at you.
We don't need to talk about all these things I haven't done yet. Hey, 2025 is the year of getting on top of shit.
I will help you try to at least make sure you're on top of it. You do have a habit of ignoring things that I have to say.
What? Never. That's a big thing too, is when you're driving somewhere, I'm like, okay, we can go into the other lane and like get around these people, and you're just like nice
scared.
and calm, nice and like, I'm just staying in my lane.
That's like that one time where like you're on the, like just coasting on the far right lane after merging in. And then I was like, you could go into the carpool lane, right?
I don't remember this at all.
This was, I think, when we were going to Oregon or some hike. But I was like, you could go into the carpool lane. You're like, there's no one else on the road. Like, wow, okay.
Well, there was that's a big thing that annoys me, is people who are like, oh, we have two people in the car so we can go into the carpool lane, when there's no need to be in the carpool lane.
In a sense, yeah, but it does make it easier for when the time comes of like other drivers who are merging in.
But then I'll deal with that when the time comes.
For me, it's like I'd rather not deal with it when I have to. So like if the best opportunity comes in, I'll just go as far left as I can if I'm going to be like cruising for like a few hours.
But then also the people who go into the carpool lane and go under the speed limit drives me absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
The one thing I learned about Washington is people love the left lane. When they get onto the highway, go to the left lane. That they always just go to the left lane.
I don't do that. I go to the middle lane, like the centermost lane that there would be, just because I do not want to deal with people merging in, because people do not know how to merge here.
No, people don't know how to merge anywhere.
No. But here is notorious for people not knowing how to do anything.
It's so frustrating.
So like I'd rather not get hit, and I'd rather just deal with anything, because at least like I can notice like if things are coming off to the side in front of me.
We just need better public transportation out here, because driving is just miserable.
That's not gonna happen.
I know. Why can't we be like New York?
But we've been rambling on.
We have. So it's that time. If you like that episode, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Go follow our YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram.
Ew.
I said that weird. Instagram at Intersint Pod. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.